Was Bob Dernier, and here it was, just about 3 minutes ago at the vet. Remember, there are 2 runners on. The Phillies are down 2 runs, and you can see the ball gets around and about and over, under, and through Kevin Mitchell. Here comes Bobby Dernier. He's easily safe, and that's how the Phillies went from 2-zip down to a 3-2 victory, and a well-deserved and perhaps most dramatic celebration seen at the vet in quite a while. Jim, we've often said those are the kinds of wins you can just build something on, baby.
Top of the 10th inning, Bob Dernier saved what could have become the winning run in this game when he came up throwing here to nail Will Clark at the plate. It was a perfectly executed defensive play by Dernier. But in the bottom of the 10th, Dernier, with runners on first and second, failed to lay down this bunt, and that mistake might have cost the Phillies a run. Bottom of the 12th inning now. Dernier's chance to redeem himself. Phillies trailing 2-0. Dernier at the plate. He knew he would get extra bases with this hit. He just didn't know how many.
Comes Lake. He scores. Here comes Dernier. He's heading for the plate. Here's the play. The Phillies win the game.
Well, that's the most exciting play I've ever been involved in. So, you know, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I hope there's another one out there tonight.
Change up a little bit more, turn the ball over a little bit, and throw a sinker. I was working on a sinker down in Atlanta, and last night, as well as the game before that, I started working things in, and gosh, I turned my whole season around so far.
Well, Tyler, we've got some shots of Don pitching last night here, and all these different pitches that you've been throwing, changing the speed, the tempo of the pitches. What was that?
Well, that was a sinker inside. The ball's really coming back for me on the inside corner.
The A's, a club that raced to the head of the pack with manager Tony La Russa riding the reins. But in the series opener against Boston, it was Dwight Evans who helped the Sox come up a winner in the 10th inning. A grand slam of Dennis Eckersley helped Boston to a 7-4 triumph in a rematch of last season's American League Championship Series. But this time, the A's fell short. Eastern Division, the Seattle Mariners, but Dallas Green's club scoffed at that idea in Game 1. Third baseman Mike Pagliarulo went 3 for 5, including this third-inning single that scored Don Mattingly. And it also scored former Mariner Ken Phelps to help give New York a 5-3 lead. Then reliever Lee Gooderman saved his 6th, increased his scoreless inning streaks to 29 and 2/3 innings. Power surge into Fun City, a place that's been a deathbed for many past Mets opponents. And in Game 1 of the series, New York showed why.
Here's Strawberry. He belts it into right field, and it's out of here.
Strawberry's Big Apple blast tied the score at 2 in the 6th inning. Then Roger Craig's club laid an egg in the 10th when Goose Gossage walked home the winning run. Final score, 3-2 New York, as an old Yankee bit the bullet. Like a true champion, Oakland created a bit of Saturday silence in Boston's bats with an easy-going pitching performance by starter Dave Smoke Stewart, who improved his record to 8-1 for the season in a stallion-like outing. Mike Gallego made like a Shetland pony in inning number 2, small but with lots of power. A home run that helped Oakland charge to the finish line with a 6-3 win. It was Mike's first home run of the season. But signs of change caught hold in Game 2. Manager Jim Lefever's club was sparked by a great first-inning catch by Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey also produced with his bat.
Ken Griffey Jr. has put the Mariners ahead with a 3-run shot off Dale Mahorsic.
25-year-old right-hander improved his record to a most successful 7-1 with a victory against the Cleveland Indians. Ballard off to the best start for any Oriole pitcher since 1976. Some old Mets, the '69 Miracle Club, gathered prior to Game 2 to play an old-timers game, but Will Clark spoiled the thrill for Met fans.
A high drive into deep right field, and that one is gone.
Oh, what a hitter this guy is.
And And the very next batter was Kevin Mitchell, a former Met. He wasn't big on Met reunions either. Back-to-back home runs. And longtime Met nemesis Mike Krukow, a former Phil, improved his lifetime mark against New York to 21-7. Golden State Warrior basketball coach Don Nelson on hand to throw out pitch number 1 prior to Game 3. And Red Sox starter Roger Clemens fired a few long shots of his own. Ron Hasse assisted Oakland's cause with this homer in the bottom of the 4th. And Dennis Eckersley converted the save, his 14th of the year, as Mike Greenwell grounds out to Mark McGwire. The A's wind up taking 2 out of 3. The story in Game 3 was the series of Yankees youth. Rookie Clay Parker hurls a complete Game 5 hitter. He struck out 10. And catcher Bob Guerin collected 3 RBIs, belting only his second Major League home run to give New York a 5-0 lead. Guerin hit his first home run just the day before. But again, it was young Griffey who spoiled Clay Parker's bid for a shutout with this hot shot that bounced off Roberto Kelly's glove in the 9th inning. It scored 2 runs. It was ruled an inside-the-park homer, but only served as a Seattle crowd pleaser because the Yankees won the game and thus the series. The next day, another former Met, Roger Craig, allowed his club to continue the bash.
Hit high and deep to left. Out of here. Home run, Rob Thompson.
That tied the score at 4. But the darling blow that hammered the Mets into submission belonged to Terry Kennedy, who delivered a bases-loaded pinch-hit double in the 7th inning that cleared the bases. And the streaking Giants took 2 out of 3 from New York to move to within a half game of first in the Western Division.
4th straight by beating Cleveland 5-2. The Orioles in first in the weak AL East. In Los Angeles last night, Oral Hershiser pounded by the Mets. Howard Johnson with his 10th of the season, contributing to the Mets' 8-2 victory over the Dodgers, the slumping Mets breaking out. And Bryn Smith of the Expos blanked the Padres 5-0. Montreal's pitching on fire. This their 3rd straight shutout. They have not allowed a run in 28 consecutive innings. And now, add to the mix, Mark Langston, one of the game's...
Watching TV and on TV. That's where he'll be. Phillies played the Padres tonight. What happened? Well, in the very first inning, Laurie McQueen is pitching. Tony Gwynn, a base hit. Roberto Alomar score, but Gwynn, good hitter, but can't run the bases, gets cut down. It's a 1-0 game. In the second inning, Chris James, now the third baseman. Good play. Long throw. Gets the force. In the 4th, Ricky Jordan, base hit to right. Samuel will go to 3rd. This is important. Watch this. And then as the ball gets by, Sammy decides to go all the way. Wrong decision, baby. Nah, too bad. Hurst had backed up the play. Now watch this one. San Diego fly ball at Santiago of San Diego. And Samuel makes the catch. By the way, Samuel will be the Phillies' third baseman. Eventually. Mark it down, will you? All right, here it is. In the 8th inning, they're now in the 9th inning. San Diego leading 1-0. Atlanta beat Chicago.